Hey, peace and love, good morning, great rising, grand rising, great day, good day, beautiful day, happy Sunday, peace and love, everyone. How are you? Welcome to another week of Sunday Light. I am your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugary Marston. It's a beautiful Sunday. The birds are chirping. Summer is still here. Still summertime, 78, 80 degrees, man. What a beautiful week it's been. Beautiful. A few more days coming up. Got some rain, I think, at the end of the week, towards the tail end of the week. Some rain in the forecast, but sunshine, a little bit of clouds. Yesterday was a beautiful day, and then it got windy. It was a little windy yesterday at one point when I was outside, but it was a beautiful day nonetheless, man. As they say, every day above ground is a beautiful day, but we all know that some days are not as beautiful as others. But these last few days have been absolutely beautiful, even with the challenges, right? Even with the personal challenges, physical, emotional, mental, financial, housing. The weather has been beautiful. Even with all of the craziness going on in the world, a lot of stuff happened this past week on a lot of levels, from government to schools to, yeah, it's been a lot of stuff happening. Families and their homes, a lot of tragedies, a lot of, lot of, lot of painful things happen, a lot of pain, a lot of trauma. Um, but we're still here. Those of us who are here, and we have a role, we have a responsibility. And so today we're going to get into the sacred power of leadership. That's what we are talking about this morning, the sacred power of leadership. And I don't have it with me, but I think next week I'm going to start bringing books into the discussion, where I really build on some things that I'm reading. I'm reading a lot of great things. As you guys know now, I am in. Yeah, actually, this is my first full week. All right, last week we were still raising some money, but last week we made the payment. We are in the 12-week brain certification program. Super excited for that. My aunt asked me, so what can you do with that? Like, what are you able to do with that? I said, whatever I want. Really, is having a deeper understanding of the brain, neuroscience, essentially, right? Having a deeper understanding of neuroscience, how the brain works, how we develop patterns, how we develop habits, how our genes, environment, and experiences interact to formulate thoughts and behaviors, essentially, right? Feelings, behaviors, emotions, things like that. So really excited. It's been a great week. I took my first quiz a few days ago. Got a nine question quiz, short quiz, but got all nine correct. It's pretty good stuff, right? I'm grateful to know some of the knowledge, like have some of the knowledge already, just from my life experience and my own study, right? I've been into psychology pretty much since a teenager, reading different books on psychology and why we do the things we do and the interaction between mind and body, right? Thoughts and actions, thoughts, feelings, and actions, how those things interact, and understanding even how not just our environment, but how food affects us, how music affects us, right? How all of these things impact our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and then subsequently our behaviors that then impact our relationships, that then impact our communities, our families, right? I got some base knowledge and I'm getting more knowledge and I'm super excited. The first week's lesson was on that specifically, right? On that mainly. Non-conscious drivers, conscious drivers, right? Yeah, all that stuff. So it was pretty cool. But we're here with another episode of Sunday Light. I'm gonna turn this brightness up, and we are about to get into the show. Again, today we're gonna talk about the sacred power of leadership. Leadership is not just something that's it's sacred power when you are leading someone. And we're gonna get into it, but first we're gonna pray. Right, we're gonna give some words out, right, to folks, right? Send some intention to the universe, out into the ethers. And as I've talked to some people this past week, and as I've been in some group settings this past week, in person and online, virtual, as I think about the sacred power of leadership, right? Right now there is a challenge going on in the real world, but it's online videos. Drop My Flag challenge, where his brother Hocus 45th, former blood, is encouraging people to drop their flags. And he's encouraging it because he's like, we got to lead the youth in a better way. He realized how he misled some young people, how he was misled. And he's like, we got to do a better job at leading our youth. And so I think that's really powerful. And so my prayer is that all those who are in leadership positions, parents, teachers, uncles, big brothers, grandparents, leaders in the community, those who are looked up to, I pray that they take this responsibility serious. And I pray that they lead with good intentions. I pray that they lead with a good heart. I pray that they lead with the best interests of those they're leading in mind, not just what they can get from them or what they can get them to do for them. I pray that those who are looking for leadership, those who are looking for a role model, those who are looking for love and comfort and family and guidance, I pray that they use their discernment, and I pray that they find a leader not out of desperation and not out of fear, but they choose a leader out of respect, out of admiration. And I pray that that respect and admiration for those who are looking for leadership is rooted in progress, is rooted in their own respect and how they treat people in their neighborhood, in their families, how they show up in the world. I pray that the parents and families who are looking for leaders for their children, that they use their discernment and they choose leaders not based simply on how a person dresses or big words a person uses or a person's education, but that they root their choice and their decisions for choosing leaders for their children based on a person's heart, based on a person's direction and vision. Even if they may not have the best education, even if they may not use the biggest words or drive the cars or have the biggest home. I pray that leadership is rooted not in materialism, not in one's ability to speak fast, but is truly rooted in a person's being. Who is this person? Who is this person? And I pray that we all have discernment. And I pray that we all recognize at every point in our lives we are leading someone, even if it is only just ourselves. That is my prayer on a Sunday. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, give thanks. So we burn sage to cleanse energy. Healing herb and cleansing herb. Let's get into it, guys. So the power of sacred leadership, the sacred power of leadership. Listen, I, like many people growing up, right? And I was fortunate, very fortunate, right? My dad was a great leader. My dad was very present. I had some pretty good leaders in my life, right? As a youth, until my dad transitioned. He was a great leader. My aunt, great leader, right? My uncle, pretty solid leaders, right? People in my neighborhood, right? My youth program, pretty solid leaders, right? One of my friend's dads, my friend Merrick Jr., who he's the one who came with me. He's the last person to see my dad with me, right? Came with me after graduation elementary school. Him, myself, and my dad. My dad took us to Sizzler after we graduated. That was my best friend. His dad, after my dad transitioned, right, would take us, all of us on the block, would take us to, I don't even remember where he would take us everywhere. We would be in places like, how do we even get here? In the Bronx, in Harlem, like places that I haven't been to since. It's like, where was, like, it's like a portal. He would take us, we would be walking sometime forever, it seemed like, right? We're 11, 12, 13, so it was maybe not that bad, but it seemed that bad. And even younger, actually, before my dad passed, he would take us. But after my dad passed, it seemed like, I don't know, my world was a little different. But he had us on these missions, man. But it was always great missions. Go play pool, right? Go play laser tag, right? We were always going to do great things. Go bowling. Go watch some people play baseball over here, right? We did all of the things. And I remember him saying, right? I remember when at some point we caught him smoking. Right, he was smoking. right? And yo, you smoking? You're not supposed to be smoking. Da da da. And he said something. He said something so profound, right? So profound, and it was like kind of cliche, but it was profound because it wasn't my family member, right? It wasn't my immediate family, right? He was like family, right? It's like an uncle, right? He said, "Listen, don't do what you see me do. Do what you know you're supposed to be do." And that was powerful, right? Because he didn't say do what I say. Well, a lot of people say don't do what I do what I say. He said, don't follow just what I do, what you know you're supposed to be doing. And that was powerful. And when I thought about that, right, like as years went on, I didn't actively think about it, but as life went on and as I became, who I am now, it was always, it stuck with me. And the message I got from it was follow your own compass. You are your own leader. If you know you're not supposed to be doing something, regardless to what another person around you is doing, don't do it. Right? If you know you are supposed to be doing something and the person's not, do what you know you're supposed to be doing. Follow your compass. That stuck with me. And I was crazy is that this morning when I thought about the concept, that didn't even hit me until I started speaking, because that's essentially what it is. Yes, you can have a parent, right? Yes, you can have an uncle, you can have a grandparent, you can have a role model, right? Who you look up to, who is leading you in some capacity. But at the end of the day, each of our responsibilities is us. We have to be responsible for who we are. And if we know that there's something that either we're not supposed to be doing, which that could be controversial, right? Supposed to be. What are you supposed to be doing? Something that we don't want to do, something that we don't like, regardless to who's doing it. Don't do it. This person's over here is eating pizza, and you know that pizza is not good for you, right? Like regardless to how good they say it is, regardless of how much they encourage you, it's not. I'm good. Now, clearly, the challenge is peer pressure. The challenge is not wanting to be ostracized. The challenge is our innate desire to belong, to want to fit in, right? And so we don't want to do things or not do things that people around us are doing because we don't want to be talked about, right? We don't want to be ridiculed. We don't want to be, oh, this person thinks they're better than somebody. Oh, this person, we can't bring them over here because they funny. Like number one, that language is harming. Number two, we got to be strong enough, because even though it's harming, is people do it. We got to be strong enough and confident enough in ourselves, right? To walk to the beat of our own drum, as our elders would say. Walk to the beat of your own drum. But that takes confidence, right? It takes freaking courage, bravery, right? It takes a certain level of humility, right? A certain level of not giving a right? I don't give a F what they say about me. I'm doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing. The things I'm not supposed to be doing, I'm not doing them, regardless to who's doing them, regardless to who's pressuring me. Listen, there are some situations in marriages, relationships, where one person wants to be a little healthier, right? One person wants to be a lot healthier, so to speak. The partner, maybe not so much. The person who wants to be healthier will still sometimes sacrifice their health to connect with their partner. Now, clearly, there's a certain level of sacrifice that goes into any relationship dynamic, right? Sacrifice. But be careful not to sacrifice the things that matter most to you. Don't sacrifice your integrity. Don't sacrifice who you are to please somebody else, because then you're not happy, right? Then even though you're sacrificing to please them, to appease them, they may recognize your energy that you're not happy. So then they're really not happy. And so now nobody's really happy. And now it's a problem that's going to at some point come out. And if it doesn't, then you're just miserable forever. All right. And nobody deserves to live in misery. All right. So again, going back to the topic, we talk about the sacred power of leadership. It's something that, again, each of us has as humans, because regardless of our age, regardless of what we're doing or not doing, there is always somebody watching. There's always somebody examining, observing, and taking from, pulling from. Like, oh, wow, that person did that. Like, oh, wow. Always, which is how in the streets, right? There's people who this person is not telling you to do certain things. They're not telling you to sell drugs. They're not telling you to pick up this gun out. They're not telling you to treat women this way. They're not saying it, but by their actions, young people are looking, and they may be getting, they may be fly, they may dress fly, they may have a nice car, they may, right, be smooth talking, they may nice haircut, right, nice facial features, they may look good. So a young person's looking to that, and then they may get attention, right? It's like, wow, I want to be like that. And then you take on a persona, right? Young brother said something recently, so profound. Oh my goodness, it rocked me, because early 20s, right, finding his way, right, pretty mature, extremely mature, actually, if you ask me, but finding his way still, right, 24, no matter how mature you are, we all still finding our way, right? So especially at 24, still finding your way. But he said something. He said, yo, I'm a music producer, and I want to be famous. I want to be known for my music, right? And I'm conflicted, because when I look at the most popular people, the most famous people in hip-hop culture, they're degrading women, they're degrading themselves, they're using drugs, they're using alcohol, right? They're talking bad about their people, they're promoting a lifestyle that is dangerous, that I don't like. But I'm conflicted, because do I have to be that person to get this fame that I want? Do I have to degrade women? Even deeper, he spoke about the type of women that he likes, right? He said specifically, I like big butts and juicy lips. So if she got a BBL, yeah. She got lip fillers, yeah. That's what he said. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, but what type of person do I have to be to attract that woman? Do I have to degrade her? Do I have to disrespect her? So profound. So profound. And clearly I gave him some wisdom, right? I gave him some wisdom, poured into him, right? And he walked away feeling real, like, grateful for my wisdom that I shared with him, right? Like, wow, you're right. Right. And essentially I told him, I said, listen, like, I understand the desire for fame. I understand the desire to want to be known for something that you're good at. But at what cost? Cost of your integrity. And I was able to use a word that he used, authenticity. You want to be authentic. But if this is not who you are, then don't worry about attracting that person. There are women who have big butts, juicy lips, who are not like that, right? Who are not in that world of hip hop, and who may be natural, not have BBL, and may not expect to be talked to a certain way, right? But patience, right? Patience, like filtering out, but like essentially authenticity, knowing who you are and being true to who you are, right? We had a discussion also about kings. What does it mean to be a king? And when is a king a king? A king is always a king. Even if people are not treating him like a king, right? He's still a king, even if people are disrespecting him, right? Same with a queen. A queen is a queen. If she's really a queen, even if somebody's spewing venom at her, even if she's going to stand in that and not respond in a way that's not authentic to who she is, right? Now, queen and king clearly doesn't mean that you don't check people. It doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean taking all of the BS from people. No. But it means that if I know that I'm a king, if I'm royalty, and I speak as such, then I'm not going to, even if a brother violates me and disrespects me, I'm not going to call him out his name. I'm going to maybe address it. I'm going to speak firmly. But I'm not. If a sister is disrespecting me, I see her violating herself, I'm not going to, because I'm a king, call her out of her name. Like, damn, that sister's going through some things. Damn, that sister's in some pain. That sister needs some help. But I'm not going to say that, yo, that B is, no, that's not who I am. Right. So integrity is key. So we're talking about the power, sacred power of leadership. Is key part is integrity. Who are you? Who are you? Where are you going? Right. What do you want in your life? What do you want for yourself? And as our Christian brothers would say, right, Christian texts would say, what I want for my brother, what I want for myself, I want for my brother. Right. What I want for myself, I want for my sister. Right. But what do you want for yourself? Direction. I posted the video a few days ago from June, when Mona and I broke our watermelon fast, right? 31-day watermelon fast, and asked a question in the video, and it was so profound to me. It's like, why did you say yes to this watermelon fast? She said, because I trust your leadership. So powerful. And in the video, when I posted it, I wrote some stuff, right? I wrote some stuff because there are a lot of people now on social media and in the world who believe that Black women don't accept leadership from Black men. They put that out there. Black women, no, all these Black women, they want to do this. They think they're this. They don't accept no leadership from a man. And I can see what they're talking about, right? I've been in situations. Well, I'm fortunate, right? I've pretty been solid, right? Much of my adult life on exactly where I'm going, and so I've had pretty much all the women that I've known accept my leadership, right? When I'm leading, sometimes when I'm not leading and I'm in my, and so like conflict can arise, right? But when I'm leading, I'm focused, right? But that's it. So it's not that Black women, no matter how strong she is, no matter how strong she's been, no matter how independent she's been, it's not that she doesn't accept the leadership of a man. It's that a lot of men aren't leading. And I posted that, and I know that's controversial to some people, and I'm grateful that I haven't had much conflict come back, right? You know, yeah, I'm not in those worlds, but I see it, and I'm outside, and I know a lot of people, I know a lot of men, and unfortunately, I know, right, in my own circle that there are men who, so leadership is not just vision, right? You got vision, you have the ambition, but discipline, consistency, right? Respect for self and others, right? All of those things go into it. So you can have a woman, right? As a Black man, you can have your woman, and you can have vision. Yo, we're gonna go here, but if it's not backed up with action, discipline, consistency, right? Like if that's not what it's met with, if it's just vision, if it's just a dream, a wish, a hope, distant, then yeah, she might not follow you. Yeah, she may do all the other things that you don't like, that you think is disrespectful to you as a king. But are you being kingly? Are you being a noble person that you are supposed to be, that you want to be? And we got to be honest. A lot of times, no. I know, like when I looked at the breakdown of my marriage, right, regardless of all the other stuff, I recognize my part in it. I recognize that, I'm gonna be transparent, right? Times when my ex-wife is dealing with postpartum and I'm freaking falling asleep on her. Partly I'm depressed, right? But then I'm drinking and I'm smoking a little too much. No, that's not. So now when she's like, eventually like, yo, nah, this ain't working. Like, oh, no, but no, I get it. And I'm not going to blame. That's not me. And I think leadership is accepting responsibility for how things are in your life, right? Even when it's not okay, even when people are walking out of your life, even when people are ridiculing you and criticizing you, accepting your part, being responsible, right? Did I really do my best? Did I really put myself in a position for these people to follow me? There are people who complain about their children not following them. My children don't. Sometimes they're just teenagers and they just are figuring out their own life, right? Figuring out their own mind, and they may have had some trauma. Two, where the fuck are you leading them? Where are you leading your children just because you're a parent, father, a mother? You have no direction, no vision, no action, discipline, consistency behind that. You cannot expect your children to just follow you. You can't. Right? Like, and you shouldn't want to. Right? Like, going back to, no, like, okay, I'm saying this, but my actions are showing something completely different. I'm saying don't do drugs. Parents tell their children don't do drugs. But the parents are doing the drugs. Parents tell the children don't lie. But somebody knocks on the parent door, knocks on the door, tell them I'm not here. Wait, you here? I'm looking at you. You told me to tell him you're not here. I remember I did that one time. My mother said she tell you she ain't here. I did that because you told me not to. Like, we got to be real here. Hot. It's not even plugged in. We got to be real here. You cannot tell your children to not lie while telling them to lie for you, because then they're going to lie to you. And then you can't be mad because you taught them it's conflicting messages. So we talk about leadership. It's about one consistent message. If it's don't lie, then it's don't lie. That means you cannot lie, right? To them, right? You can't lie to them. Can't have them lie for you. Can't have them hear you lie to other people, right? You can't. Like, what's the messaging? Where's the guidance leading them to? Right? Thank you. Right? We got to think about this. Again, leadership is a very, very, very sacred thing. Power of leadership. Yo, Joey's, what's going on? Frankie, peace. It's a very sacred thing, right? Like leading someone, guiding someone from where they are to where they want to be, where they can be. It's power. Like people become like putty in your hands. Like you are molding someone. You are shaping someone's future, someone's destiny, essentially. Where are you leading them to? There are people, Charles Barkley once said, right, in the ad years ago, basketball player, right? You know, Charles Barkley. He said it was a pretty popular commercial in the 90s, right? Says, I may be a basketball player, superstar, all-star, da-da-da-da, but I'm not a role model. I understand that. But you may have heard the saying, leadership is not something you choose, it's chosen for you. So something I've said, right? Like I remember I spoke about this before months ago. I don't know if it's on this show or SR Daily, but I spoke about my brother, who works for a congressman, right? His mother and my sister, one of my sisters, were friends for years, right? His brother wears suits pretty much all the time, right? Again, works for the government. He's a church guy, goes to church regularly, right? I don't think I've ever seen him smoke. I don't think I've ever seen him drink. He may drink, may smoke. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen it, right? Also haven't been in, haven't hung out with him late night, just, in the parks, maybe talk during the day, right? See him at work. See him around the neighborhood sometimes, right? In Jamaica, Queens, but never really like hung out with him. So I don't know his personal life, right? His daily personal life. But I know what I've seen. I know how I've perceived him, right? I know he goes to church all the time. Right. I know when I'm around him, the way he speaks, right? He's very doesn't cuss, right? Barely cuss. I think he might say shit every now and then. I've heard him say, and even that doesn't sound like he's a cusser, right? It sounds like he just he says it because it's something he has the word and he just expresses it sometimes, right? But online, he made a comment one time. He said, "Yo, you're such a great role model to me," and I was like, "Don't do that. Don't put me in that position, because when you call me a role model, right? Whoever it is that's watching you, you got young people around you saying, yo, Sugar Ray's a role model. They are basing their idea of me. They don't know me. They're basing my idea of me on their idea of you. How they see you as a person who's always in church, a person who doesn't cuss, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, has one woman, right? They see these things. And so their perception of a role model a lot of times is rooted in who you are. Now, when they see me, and I said, what if they see me coming out of a hotel, right, somewhere, drinking liquor, smoking a blunt, my pants sagging with a woman that ain't mine? What's their perception of me going to be then? Oh, Sugar Ray's a fraud. When I never put out that I don't drink, is when I didn't drink. I mean, when I did drink, I didn't put out that I don't drink or that you shouldn't be drinking, even though I don't drink now, and even though I think drinking is extremely detrimental, I never say, yo, you shouldn't be drinking. I don't smoke right now. I don't say, yo, you shouldn't be smoking. Right now, I'm choosing not to smoke, right? I don't say you shouldn't be smoking. I wear my pants up. I don't say, yo, that's terrible. It means this. No, it doesn't mean anything. I think it could look whatever it looks like. It could feel uncomfortable, but it doesn't mean that because the person's pants is sagging that they are a bad person, or that they are in a certain lifestyle, or that they are not worthy of respect, or that they are uneducated. It doesn't mean any of that, right? It doesn't mean any of that. It could mean other things, but it could mean anything. It could mean nothing. It could mean everything. We don't know, right? But don't put me in that position, because I never put myself out there saying that I'm like this or I'm like that. It's when I'm single, like, have all the women when I'm single, right? Like, who cares? Like, some people might care. I don't, but I never put that out there. But when you who have a certain lifestyle tell your young people that I am a role model and they should look to me for guidance, It's like, nah, don't do that, because now you put me on a pedestal, and everybody on the pedestal, what happens? They crash. They crash. Why? Because people are human, and people are going to live their lives according to how they feel, not how you feel. However, I've sensed, even though I would still say on a personal level, you don't put me in that position. Right? Don't put me in that position. I do understand that I am a role model. I am, which is why I'm striving to be the best me I could possibly be, which is why one reason I stopped drinking. Not because, partly because I didn't want to get sick. Right now, not because I had bad issues, not because I had bad health scare, or I was freaking drinking and having altercations or whatever the case may be. No, it was like I got family who drinks, who they have bad altercations. They have issues when they drink. And so if I really love them, can I sacrifice a part of me? Right? Can I sacrifice a part of me to show them that you can still have fun, you can still live life, you can still be lit, be cool, have a good time without drinking? Absolutely, I can. I know that in my hood, in my communities, in Queensbridge, and in let's say Bed-Stuy and other communities like mine, Saturday nights, when people get shot, when a lot of shit happens, Friday nights, Saturday nights, alcohol is involved a lot of times. I told you guys, there are a few friends of mine who got killed, who families were told that if they didn't have so much alcohol in their system, they would have lived. They bled out alcohol. Damn, if there wasn't so much alcohol, they could have made it, had a better chance. All right? A lot of situations, alcohol, people drunk, all the other stuff comes up. They mad at the father, mad at the mother. They got this depression, mad at the baby mother, mad at this person over here. They drunk. This small thing happens with this person. Listen, it was a guy in my neighborhood got killed. Two brothers were fighting. Everybody was laughing. Little brother beating the older brother up. Everybody's laughing. Older brother, oh, yeah, I think it's funny? Oh, you think it's funny? He leaves, goes, gets a gun, comes back and kills the guy in front of everybody, man. Saturday night, drunk. Kills a guy in front of everybody. Did 18 years because of that shit. 18 years of your life gone because you couldn't handle, because you was drunk. And again, that's one thing I love about the hood, is because people be knowing people's intimate stories. Right? And we learned later on him being mad at this particular guy, right? Because everybody was laughing. He picked one guy out. Everybody laughing. Guys, girls, everybody's laughing. Like, yo, you beating you up. Yo, it's crazy. Get this guy. Resemblance to a family member. Resemblance to a family member. Oh, you think it's funny? Oh, in his brain triggered. Oh, I remember when this motherfucker looked like this motherfucker laughed at me, and I've been waiting to do something. So now I'm going to do something. Wow. It's deep. It's crazy, but it's real. It's very, very real. So when we talk about leadership, right? We talk about leadership. We talk about, like, you got somebody's life in your hands, man. Where are you leading them to? Where are you leading them to? I always say we should be leading people further into themselves, further into who they are. Not over here, not over there, inside, right? So when I think about me as a leader, my main thing is to lead you to yourself. Who are you? Why are you here? Where do you come from? What are you made of? Where do you want to go with your life? Where do you want to take your life? Right? Because I've learned that regardless to what I think, I could be wrong. I could think you should do this in your life. It's based on my perception. Could be right, but it could be very wrong. I could be leading you to a place of later destruction. Well, if I let you, let's say, for example, right, I spoke about it a few days ago. Discernment. You got a family member, and this is real life, right? This is real in my heart. You got a family member who you love, who is behaving in a way that is detrimental to themselves and others. They're engaging in drugs, they're engaging in alcohol use, they're in the streets, right? And they're living life a certain way that is extremely detrimental. They've had some pain, they've experienced some pain, they've caused some pain, they've expressed that things that they've experienced was painful and they don't want to go through it no more, right? They've expressed that. However, they are still living life a certain way. Now, I'm here. I'm like, yo, I think you should do this. I think you should do that. I think you should do this. Somebody said it the other day, like they wore the eye of horrors, right? All seeing eye. But they said, I don't see all. That's me. I don't know what your future holds for you. I don't know what God got in store for you. I don't know. I cannot possibly know. I know what I could see. I know what I may see. I know what I may think, right? But it doesn't mean I'm 100% accurate. And again, I use my own life example. I was in a lot of trouble as a youth. A lot of trouble from, again, drinking alcohol, fighting, freaking selling drugs, getting in trouble, got arrested a whole bunch of times within a few years of my teenage years from freaking 14, from 15 really, I got arrested at 14, but really from 15, 16 to 19, I arrested like 30, 40 times. It was insane. A lot of misdemeanors, right? Smoking weed, riding a bike, moped, a lot of bullshit, but a couple felonies in it, right? Probation, right? 5-year probation, felony probation, right? Then obviously doing a bit, right? Bail out of jail a few times. If my mother would have sent me to Job Corps like she threatened me to a few times, if she would have sent me away like she threatened to a few times, there's no telling where I'll be now. Could I be better? Maybe. Could it be worse? Absolutely. Could I be dead? Absolutely. I'm alive now. I'm living my purpose. I'm living my dreams. I'm impacting people positively. Life is good. Life is freaking good, even through the pain. Right? Now, if she would have pushed me. So I said that to say that sometimes we have to allow people to find their way. That's painful, especially I'm sure as a parent, right? My children are still pretty young. I haven't had to deal with certain things yet. So I don't know how I will feel. And I mean, I do know, I think my personality is my personality, right? My mindset is my mindset that they're going to have to go through certain shit. They're going to have to go through certain shit. I cannot save them from everything. I cannot save them from anything, really. I could put them in a position to not have to experience certain things, maybe. But who knows what they need to experience today so that they could become who they need to be tomorrow. I don't know that. I don't have that mind. I'm not. That's God's will. It's the will of the universe. I don't know that. I don't know that them getting in trouble so much right now as a younger person. I don't know if that's going to help them later be able to help young people who get in trouble. I don't know that. So I'm going to be humble. I may, if asked, if sought out, lend some guidance, right? But at the end of the day, we all got one true leader inside of us. We got one divine source energy, spirit, God within us that we have to follow that. And so that's what I want to encourage. So it's about the sacred power of leadership. Remind people that they are their own leader. Like right now, there's people, right, looking for a leader. It's been said online over the years. I've seen it. And it's said in real life, but online, it's all the memes. Only you can save yourself. People are looking for a savior. I understand because a lot of people don't have direction, right? They've been misled in their life. They don't know exactly where they want to go. They don't know what they're capable of. They don't really know. So they're looking for that guidance. They're looking for that leadership. They're looking for that mentor, that big brother, that big sister, that father figure, that mother figure, that aunt, that uncle. They're looking for that. And so we could reflect, we could embody that energy, right? Embody that energy. But once it's safe enough, once they are comfortable enough, reflect it back to them. Reflect it back to them. Follow your compass. You got it inside of you. Now, how do we tap into it? Lead them to meditation. Lead them to quiet spaces, right? Lead them to the park, right? Take them to the park and sit with them and allow them to sit with their thoughts. Right now, I've got a song right now, Sitting With My Thoughts. Allow them to sit with their thoughts, sit with their feelings, sit with themselves. A lot of people don't want to sit with themselves. I get it. That's where all the demons come in. That's where all of the darkness comes back. All of the memories, all of the pain, remembering when you were molested, remembering when you were raped, remembering when your parent beat you, remembering when this person called you a name, remembering when you were bullied, remembering when you were called small. You felt small. Remembering, it all comes back when you sit with yourself. That's the hard thing about hard things. You got to do it. Because how else are you going to heal if you don't feel? How else can you heal that which you don't feel? You can't. You got to feel it to heal it. You feel it to heal it, and then you reveal it, and then you unveil it, right? And now you living. So it's tough. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Leadership. very, 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 very sacred thing. I started talking about the brother who is right now encouraging people to drop their flag, drop my flag challenge. Recognize that he was misled, recognizing that he misled some young people. And I was like, yo, we got to lead them in the right direction, right? The right direction. Young person, it should be getting an education. Young person, it should be inside at a certain time, right? Young person, certain behaviors based on age, they shouldn't be engaging in. Why? Because your brain is not, you got other things that as a young person, you should be focusing on, developing who you are. What are your passions? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Who are you? Where do you want to take your life? Right? Focus on that. Not like a lot of us was focused on as teenagers, drugs, alcohol, streets, women, gangs, right? A lot of us focus on that. How other people perceive us. Oh, now if I don't do this, this person gonna think I'm a punk. This person gonna think I'm soft. This girl ain't gonna fuck with me if I don't. It's like, dogs, who are you? Learn yourself, right? Now, in that is some people are like this, some people are like that. But if you like this, don't try to be like that. Be who you are. But it takes, again, confidence and courage. In a world where propaganda, media propaganda, peer pressure is up, it takes a lot of courage to be who you are, even as an adult. Even as an adult, to pursue the passion that you want to pursue takes a lot of courage. To live life how you want to live takes a lot of fucking courage. And again, it's understandable because we are creatures of habit, but we're tribal, right? We are tribal people, humans in general, any freaking ethnic group. We are all tribal. We all familiar. We all like to click up and be around people who are of like minds, who are of similar behaviors, right? We all. But it becomes dangerous when this is going a little left, when we ostracize others because they're not like us. That's when the danger comes. It's like, oh, my favorite color is blue, your favorite color is red, it must mean you bad. It must mean you, no, it don't mean anything. It has nothing to do with you, right? Or because it could mean somebody can say, well, it means you hate me. If I like blue, you like red, you saying you hate blue? No, I'm not saying that. Like, my favorite fruit is orange, your favorite fruit is apples, so what you saying you hate apples? No, I'm not even thinking about apples. I like oranges. That's all I'm focused on is oranges. That's all I care about is oranges. I'm not even thinking about apples. It becomes a problem, right? It becomes a problem. But Mona said, "What up, baby? Happy, solid, and soulful Sunday. We had a law in our HMS. I don't know what HMS track program. Write it in there. I don't know what that. Nobody knows what that is. Be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, doing what you're supposed to do. Absolutely. Be where you are supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, doing what you're supposed to do. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So leadership. Again, the brother, my friend, Junior Merrick, his father, we called him El Bino. His name was Lauren. We called him El Bino. Bino said, we saw him smoking. We caught him smoking. You're not supposed to be smoking. What are you doing? Don't do what you know you're supposed to be doing. He didn't even say, don't do what I say. Right? Although he didn't say, do as I say, not as I do. That was the saying, right? Do as I say, not as I do. He didn't say that. He was very, very, very explicit. Do what you know you're supposed to be doing. And that stuck with me. And I extracted out of that. Regardless to what people around you are doing, walk to the beat of your own drum. You know in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul, we all have an inner compass. We all have an internal prophet, right? That is guiding us. A lot of times we don't know. We can't hear the voice, right? We can't see the vision because we're too jaded. We're too jacked up. We're too high, too drunk. And a lot of times we're too hurt, too traumatized. Our brain is too traumatized. It's too fucked up. We can't see direction. We can't see. We can't hear. What we hear is the noise. What we hear is which is why a lot of people engage in heavy alcohol usage, engage in heavy drug usage because they don't want to hear the fucking noises. The memories of the parent calling them stupid, of the parent saying they ain't shit, of the parent saying they should not have been born, of the abuse, of the molestation, of the ridicule, of the criticize. Oh, you big for your age, or you too big, or you too dark, or you too light, or you from this neighborhood, or you poor. They don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. And so they drown it out. Some people drown it out with loud music. Some people drown it out with drugs and alcohol, sex, fashion, shopping all the time. All the time. Right? Eating all the time. Right? But we talk about the sacred power of leadership, understand that there are people watching. There are people, intentionally or not, who are following you. You are guiding. Whether you know it or not, whether you want to be doing it or not, right? Because we are social beings. We are social people. Whether you're on social media or not, in your own personal life, going to and fro, somebody's watching. Somebody's paying attention. Somebody's taking notes. Somebody is then with those notes applying to their own life and embodying that which you exhibit. Right? And so, like, strive to be the best you could. Strive to be the best you that you could possibly be. Strive to be the most educated version of yourself. Strive to be the healthiest version of yourself. Strive to be the most disciplined version of yourself. Strive to be the most consistent version of yourself. Strive to be the most respectful and caring, compassionate, graceful version of yourself. Strive to be you, the best you that you could possibly be. Be who God intended you to be. Be who your grandparents prayed for you to be. Be that person. It's not easy. It's not easy at all to become that person, because you got to become, a lot of times, different than what you currently are. You got to adopt new habits. You got to let go of old habits, right? Adopt new ways of thinking. Let go of old ways of thinking. But this is where the rewiring of the brain comes in. And this is when, as I'm in this practice, as I'm in this study, right, I'm going to get more and more and more into sharing these different tools and techniques, because they work, right? And important. And like, we all need a little bit of help. We all need a little bit of brain rewiring, right? From how we perceive relationships to what we think about violence. There was a video I watched a few days ago. Sister sent it to me. She sends me all types of dope videos. Video is two guys sitting, one guy's interviewing the other guy. It's on social media. You guys may have seen it. On social media, one guy's interviewing the other guy, and he asked him specifically about domestic abuse. He's like, yeah, it was one time, right? He slapped his girl. Is that okay? Maybe she deserved it. Well, what if your daughter? Well, my daughter's not going to be that person. Why not? Because she's going to have a father who knows that she shouldn't be with the type of man. But wait, you're the type of man. You're the type of man who will hit a woman, but your daughter's going to know not to be with that type of man to hit a woman. It was like, he didn't, the connection, and then he got into right or wrong. And what the brother said in that regard was right. He's like, well, you can't say what's right or wrong, because what's right to somebody might be wrong to another. What's wrong to another, based on their culture, may be right to another. And that's absolute facts, which is why in Taoism, we don't get into right or wrong. One man's right is another man's wrong. One man's morality is another man's immorality. But what we do get into is what you like and what you don't like. That's personal. That's personal. What do you like? What don't you like? Does it feel good when somebody hits you, yells at you, curses at you, takes something from you that's not theirs, that you did not give the permission to take? Does that feel good? No? Then now you don't do it to others. If it doesn't feel good, when that happens to you, if it happens to you, if you can imagine it happen to you, if you can imagine it won't feel good, then you don't do it to other people, because it doesn't feel good, right? So it's not about right or wrong. It's not about morality, immorality. This shit don't fucking feel good. It don't feel good being slapped. It don't feel good somebody saying you a piece of shit. It doesn't feel good. So then you learn to not do it to others. All right? It's real simple as that, man. But guys, we're going to wrap this show up. Listen, thank you for being here, right? Hope that you got something from this, from this talk, from this Sunday Light, right? The sacred power of leadership. We are going to get into meditation before we wrap, right? We got some Palo Santo we're going to burn. All right. So get comfortable. All right. If you're sitting, sit in a way where your feet are planted firmly on the floor beneath you. If you are laying, lay in a position that is most comfortable for you. All right. Allow your back to be straightened by the chair behind you if you are sitting. Allow your arms to rest gently in your lap or by your side. Allow your head to lean forward so that your chin is in your chest. And allow your eyes to close ever so softly. And just allow yourself to breathe. Just allow yourself to breathe. And as you breathe, I want you to be reminded of your power. I want you to remember who you are, what you are here for on this earth. I want you to remember where you come from, both as an individual human, where you come from, your parents, your grandparents, right, your bloodline, but also where you come from, energy, spirit, source. I want you to remember why you are here. What are you here to do? We can sometimes remember that by going back and remembering things we love to do as a child. Some have always been keen on building. Some have always been attracted to fashion as children. Some have always loved helping others. Why are you here? What are you here to do? And I want you to remember where you are going. Where were you headed? What direction were you going in before life happened to you and gave you a detour? What were you going to do? And as you remember, I want you to affirm, I am here right now in this space at this time. I have the power of choice. I have the power to decide. And I have the courage to pursue. As you affirm, I want you to assess who right now do you have around you to walk beside you? Who is walking beside you? I want you to see them. Is it your spouse? Is it a parent or your parents? Is it a sibling or a cousin or other close relative? Is it a child? Who is walking beside you in your journey to the destination that you set? Who's in the car with you? See the picture clearly. See the picture clearly. Now fast forward in your mind. You are there with your loved ones, with those who have walked beside you on this journey. You are there. What does it feel like to have arrived? Are there feelings of satisfaction? Are there feelings of joy and happiness, of peace? Is there any regret, wishing that others were there with you? Is there any loneliness? Is there any sense of missing? Feel the feelings that come with succeeding, that come with accomplishing a goal, fulfilling a mission. Feel the feelings that come from seeing your loved ones smile with joy. Feel the feelings that come when overcoming an obstacle, when overcoming a challenge. The feeling of power, of strength, of endurance. And rest in that space. You've remembered, you've affirmed, you've assessed, and you've arrived. You are here. You are whole. You are good. Remember that you are loved. Remember that you are cherished. Remember that you are sacred and you are adored. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you know. And you are greater than you could ever imagine. I love you. I love you. I love you. Ashe. If your eyes are closed, you can slowly begin to open them. Wiggle your toes, move your fingers. Give yourself a neck roll. And come back to the space. Thank you. Ashe. Listen, thank you for tuning in this week's episode of Sunday Light. Hope that you got something from this talk. Please do join us next week, same time, same place, Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live. Also, please join us during the week for SR Daily. Same channels, different time, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful Sunday and a beautiful week. Peace.